Remember, all we was here for each other. But the nights are long, we were old and young. What's up, Lost Boys? Oh. Focus, fire gun, when you need someone to lean on. Yeah, boys, I'm back. I'm back. Right here. Let's get the power ranking started, bitches. Alright, ladies and gents, face to face back with your week 5 power rankings in the Banff League. What a crazy event going on the past 2 weeks. We had some huge weeks 2 weeks ago. Last week we had a lot of duds. Almost everyone broke 125 points 2 weeks ago. We had Josh and Pat and Cal and Cass just all explode for over 150. And then this week we had just everyone taking dumps. You know, if you scored over 100, you were looking pretty decent in our league this week, which is pretty crazy. So this year so far, fantasy has been crazy. Some no-names coming out of nowhere, and not just one or two, quite a few are making big impacts. And also some big-name players that were so used to doing good, you know, they're not doing that hot. It's been an interesting season. As you can see, the playoffs have been going up and down, and you'll see a lot of changes that happen every 2 weeks. And that's why I like doing these every 2 weeks, because you'll see more movement in the board. What else did you do? Injuries obviously been a problem again, but this year's just been crazy. So let's get down to the brass tacks of the power rankings, and let's see where everyone's sitting. We'll start off with number 10. Most all of you will know who belongs in the bottom 10. Sorry about that. I don't know if this will be that big of a surprise. Mr. Llama Drama, you'll be sitting down there again for the 3rd time in a row, and I'm not going to see you probably move up too far in this draft board, or sorry, power rankings board the rest of this season. You have the lowest points are at 421, and that's a good lowest points by almost 50 points, so it's not even really that close. And overall, just your team is pretty weak. The luck pick is just looking worse and worse by the week. If he's not underperforming when he's playing, he's getting hurt, and you're not really finding someone to play. The weeks you start Tyvon Taylor, he doesn't do very good. Sorry for the noise. They're doing construction out there. All in all, the team just doesn't have what it takes. You know, the C.J. Anderson pick really killed you again, and then you traded him away for Demaryius Thomas, which was a great trade, but, you know, how much can he help you out? It just doesn't seem like he's really fitting in well in Denver either. No really players are succeeding in Denver. So Llama, you'll be sitting down here. Hopefully you can make a move, but I don't see it happening. We will move up the boards to number 9. 9, rhyme time. Mr. Justin, Explosive Clitoria. Moving down 4 steps this week, going from 5 to 9. One of our biggest drops of the week. And I had him lower ranked early in the season, but he played really good the first 2 weeks, but these last 2 weeks, not so much. So I had to put him back down to where I had him previously. You know, you have really bad quarterbacks. You know, you had the Michael Vick trade for a week or 2. I don't really get it. You're struggling with bad receivers. And you will hear this quite a few times. A lot of our teams have bad receivers. I feel like the receivers this year are not performing very well, besides week 3. A lot of teams have bad receiving cores, so Justin, don't be too upset about that. But overall, your team is not looking that great. You know, there are some positives. You do have decent running backs with Randall that's doing quite well. And obviously, Gronkowski and Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham's not doing the hottest, but Gronkowski's doing great. He already passes by, so he'll be playing the rest of the season out for you. So that's another positive. And I will let you guys know, from 8 all the way up to 1, you guys see our league. It's 2 and 2 is the 9th seed all the way up. So everyone could be moving. This is going to be a really crazy year so far. 2 and 2s are the thing. So just because I put you down here, don't get too depressed, because you can move up real quick. All right. After that, sorry, Bretto. Going to move up to Gotham's Rogues, Mr. Cal Rizzi on. He actually had a move down 1 this week. down to 8 after 2 weeks ago. Your team, it looks pretty good on paper, but the Marshawn Lynch just hasn't done anything all year, and now he's kind of injury prone, has really been hurting your team. Getting his 4, 2, 0s, he's been just not producing, and him being your first round pick and not producing is really keeping you out in this bottom area. You know, and Mike Evans, another solid receiver you had that coming into the draft, hasn't done anything, and I think it has a lot to do with his quarterback. But either or, he still needs to produce yards and get you some points, and he just hasn't done that. Now, there are some great positives to your team, and you know, the A.J. Green to Andy Dalton connection is just going off. You know, Andy Dalton's playing amazing. A.J. Green had that huge week, and he's had somewhat decent weeks before and after, so I think you're still going to look good there, and that's going to be your solid foundation for the rest of your season. And then, you know, Latavius Murray and who else did you get? James Jones, 2 great guys, especially James Jones off the free agency. I know a lot of people are going for him. They're both producing well now, so there's a lot of upside in your team. I just had to throw you down here because this league is just too good, you know, too thick, and I had to put someone down there for you, Cal. Did you guys see that one? All right, we move up to number 7, the bank. Whoa! Yeah, I had to do it, you know. He was my number 1 preseason, my number 1 first round. Oh, now we got the dumpsters coming out. It's just the whole fucking tanks are out there making noise during my video. But I had to drop you, Tim. 2 weeks losses in a row. You're back to 2-2. And your players, besides your quarterbacks, Brady and Rodgers, are exploding, and they're going off. And it's great that you got Brady's bye week done with, over with, gone. You have 1 more with Aaron Rodgers, then you're good for the rest of them. But where are their players? Where? Calvin Johnson, just nowhere to be found. Emmanuel Sanders, nowhere to be found. These big players that myself, looking into the preseason and early in the season, I thought they were just going to carry you all the way with the great quarterbacks. They're not. DeMarco Murray, turd. Calvin Johnson, he's about this close from being good for you, if you know what I mean. Oh, Victor Cruz, I thought was going to actually play this year, but he's still doing the Mumbo number 5 with Mr. Odell Beckham and not even getting out on the field. You know, Tim, all in all, you do have some stuff. You know, you got the 2 stud QBs, and, you know, you got one of the bye weeks over, so you can't make a move, Tim. And if these good players, these star players, actually play like stars, then you'll be flying at the board. But as of right now, they're not, so I can't put you up higher than that. Let's move up. Number 6, Mr. GG. Well played. Didn't move up, didn't move down, stayed right about the same, which is where I think he should have been. He had a crappy first week, good second week, dirty third week, and a crappy fourth week. His team is the definition of boom or bust, and that's what you live with the running back, heavy receiving team. They can go off for 1 week and you get 190 points, or they can go dump mode and get you 70 points. And you know, no one knows this more than Josh, and he really lived it. He's living it high with the running backs. So let's see if it pays off for him. I hope so. He just has to improve somewhere in the the quarterbacks. Winston and Flacco cannot carry this team to the playoffs. Unless those receivers are putting up 25 points each time, you're not going to make the playoffs without at least 1 consistent quarterback. All you have to do is pray Winston kind of finds his mojo halfway through the season and maybe starts running the ball more to get you more points. There are some positives also with Arian Foster coming back. Last week he had 1 attempt, I think, and he fumbled it. So this week he should be back. A little more touches. And as the season goes on, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a great pickup for you and can really solidify you in the top spot. But I still think, Josh, you got to find a quarterback that's consistent. Maybe Flacco will remember his days a few years ago and kind of step it up. After that, we're going to hop into the number 5. Mr. T.Y. Yeats for president. Cass, big jump, 4 spots. You went from a 9 to 5. You've been doing great. And not just you've been doing great as winning, you've been doing great with making great pickups. I really love the Dion Lewis from New England on the free agency. I tried to get him I think I did. I don't think I tried to get him, but I know it was a great pickup. I don't know if you got him in the free agency or if you just had him on your bench. But him starting He's been doing well every week, and that's going to be a big benefit. But your big negatives are Carlos Hyde had a huge first week, and I don't know how much longer you can ride him or anyone on San Francisco's team. And Peyton Manning, you know, for your first-round pick or 10th or 11th pick, I can't remember which one went first, you can't be getting 8 points from him. And that's what's really hampering you from getting into this top echelon playoff teams is your quarterback play. Wilson's doing consistent and pretty much doing exactly what you kind of thought of. But there's no way in hell you thought of Peyton Manning only getting you 8 to 10 points some weeks. The sad part is I see it happening more because his arm just looks like it's getting worse and worse. So Cass, you moved up, you've won, you've made some good moves, your team is looking good. The Ingram pick was a solid pick, and I will hit myself on the shoulder because I missed him. And you know your receiving core is starting to kind of shape up. Cobb gets touchdowns. Vincent Jackson's starting to wake up, and Macklin started getting the ball thrown to him. So overall, you have a good team. Manning is a big no-no. I don't know what you're going to do, but I think you might need to move on with him. And then Carlos Hyde, I think you need to move on with him. But congratulations, you have moved it up, and you're so close to just hitting in the top echelons, but we'll see how it goes. These are the playoff people. The playoffs. 10 on the nip, myself. 3-1. I have no idea how I'm 3-1. I personally don't like my team that much. It's kind of iffy up and down, but I'm going to put myself up there because I'm 3-1. I'm putting up decent points and I'm winning, and that's all that matters. If I don't like them, I don't like them. It doesn't matter. I do have big problems. You know, besides Adrian Peterson, I have terrible running backs: Jonathan Stewart, C.J. Spiller. You know, just overall not that good at running backs. And my flex positions are kind of up and down. But my quarterback play has been great with Carr and Eli Manning. Both been very consistent, 18 to 20 points a week. AP is looking like he's got his legs back under him and doing solid. My receiving core is not too shabby. Edelman and Brown. Now, Brown is my negative, in my opinion, right now. He is just not getting anything with Michael Vick back there. His stock drops huge, and he was my second pick, and so I'm a little worried about that. I'm not going to start panic yet. It's one bad week, but it's not looking good for me with Antonio Brown. But he's a stud, so I expect him to keep getting those 10 points. That's all I'm asking for him, you know, right now until Big Ben gets back. Anyways, I know you guys probably don't like this pick as much. The 4th round, I got hate on it for last week, but I'm going to put myself back up there. 3-1 does have implications of playoffs right now, so I'm going to keep myself in the playoff hunt. Let's move on. Hey, yeah. Learning computer. Kept you in the same spot too. Matt, you're riding the ship quite well. You have a terrible receiving core, but 90% of the teams in this league have terrible receiving cores. Josh really took a lot of the studs, and the other studs aren't performing. So most people have bad receiving cores, so don't hurt yourself too bad on that one, because that's bulk of the season, or bulk of the leagues. But there's also Travis Kelce's been underperforming. I thought he had a great first week, and then he's just not been performing that well since. The only positive of that is most tight ends aren't performing very well this year, besides Gronk. So that position, your 2 weakest, the core receivers and your tight end, are both weak. But for 80% or 90% of the league, that's how it is. So that's why you're still floating up here, because you've got great studs everywhere else. I think you have great quarterbacks with Cam Newton. He is on bye, but I still think it's great. You got Mariota to replace him. And you have Palmer, which is just playing out of his mind. I also love your running backs with Frank Gore and Mr. MVP so far this year. Jamal Charles just been throwing up the stats every week. Consistent. Great pickup there. And Gruley for St. Louis. You know, he had his first big week. He's starting to get his legs back under him, starting to look healthy. You know, a lot of people had a value in him, and if he can get you those 8 to 12 points a week, that's going to be a great third running back for you. So I'm really digging your team right now, and you know, and it's only going to go up higher, I feel like. So just keep riding the train, learning computer. I'm really impressed so far. All right. Second, Denny Two Shoes. He also did not move. Second place, my last power rankings. Second place, this power rankings. Denny, your team overall is very good. Also, you have a bad receiving core, but I already just went over this with Learning Computer, so I'm not going to say it again. We mostly have it. That's a big flaw, but most people have it, so it's not a big deal. That's 3 times I said it. But everything else in your team is solid. You have Forte and Bell, great running backs. You have great quarterbacks with Rivers and Ryan. Your flex positions are pretty solid. Overall, I love your team. I know you're on a little 2-game losing streak, but I don't see that happening very long, and you will be able to get back into the mojo. Maybe make one trade, try to do something, one more trade. We tried to do something with T.Y. Hilton. It really hasn't panned out. But, you know, keep it moving, try to get something good. But I like your team overall. I think you have a great quarterback, great running back, great solid team. I think you're going to be in the top 4, top 5 all season and have a good chance of making the playoffs. Now, number 1. Check out. Apex. Predator. Randy. Orton. Connor. Patty Fathead, Mr. 1. Biggest jump in the league. Went from number 8 to number 1 in 2 weeks. And you want to know why? Oh, I don't know, because over 300 points combined without breaking a sweat in 2 weeks. Man, this team just went off the past weeks. And, man, what's good on your team? Oh, yeah. Freeman. Oh, Freeman. Oh, and then Freeman. Who the fuck is this guy? Exploding. 34 points, 30 points, like it's nothing. You're just exploding on all cylinders. Your receiving core, Allen, Cooper, Hopkins, all solid. You're just booming on everything. You're putting up the points, and so I had to move you up, and I had to move you up fast. Because a lot of the people dropped. But you are the biggest jump because you were on the fire. You were on the hottest streak. Those are 2 huge games. How long can you ride the Freeman train? You're going to ride it as long as it will take you, and I don't blame you. There are some question marks, but those question marks make your team even more dangerous. Drew Brees has been underperforming and a little bit injury. He's going to get his legs under, he's going to get a little healthy, and then your team takes it up another notch. Oh, Eddie Lacy, I take a dump for the first few weeks every year, has taken a dump for the first few weeks. Is he going to get back what he's supposed to do, getting your 12 to 15? If he does that, boom, 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 you're off the board. So I'm really scared of your team. That Freeman pick, just huge, huge. If Eddie Lacy's in your flex position and underperforming, your team is great. You know, you have a top 5 running back just not performing well. If he gets his legs and if Brees gets his arm back, boom, your team could go sweep the table the rest of the year. But that also means Freeman, I highly doubt he's going to be putting up 30 points a week. But anyways, I love your team. Good running backs, good receivers, decent quarterbacks. You know, if Brees does great quarterbacks. And overall, your team is just a solid one. I don't even kind of look back. I don't know how I put you down this far. Oh, probably because I didn't think Freeman was going to score 65 points in 2 weeks. Anyways, there it is, boys and girls. Power rankings. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get our matchups for this upcoming week. Oh, my God, I forgot to mention the biggest thing. Royals. Royals are tonight. Go playoffs. Go Cubs for you, Pat. Go Cardinals. Not really, but it's okay, Denny. We support you anyways. Go Cardinals for you, Denny. All 3 of our teams in the postseason. It's kind of a great feeling. Hopefully everyone enjoys watching it. But let's get those matchups going. First one, Tit on the Nip versus GG. Well played. I have to give it to GG. Well played. I have Adrian Peterson on bye, which equals a win for Josh. After that, we go the Bank versus Apex Predator. The number, there it is, I'm trying to be cool. The Bank versus Apex. Apex takes it. Too much firepower, too much strength. After that, Llama Drama. Terry Larry. Versus T.Y. Eats. Got to go with T.Y. Eats on that one as well. Denny, number 2 versus Clitoria, number 9. I'm going to have to go with Denny as well on that one again. The game of the week, Learning Computer versus Gotham. Why is it the game of the week? Because it's the upset of the week. Gotham's going to take Learning Computer this week, and they're going to move up the boards. Boom shakalaka. Everyone enjoyed the game tonight. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Love y'all. I'm going to play a little music and get the hell out of here. And, surfing.